I'll take over, and I'll just mention that one of the great successes of the Ebmt in the last few years has been the formation of a patient and family and donor committee. We've got Becky Verhoeven, who chairs it in our meeting today, and we will have, for the first time, patients coming regularly into our scientific sessions. So I just wanted to mention that, because you will get relevant, highly relevant questions from the floor as a speaker now, not just from fellow clinicians and scientists, but also from the patient voice. So I'll move on to the next speaker, who is Kristine Lehmann. Kristine is a hematologist from Bergen in Norway, and I think you're here today, Kristine, to show that perhaps being a smaller country or a smaller group of countries, you may get things done a bit more effectively. You know, maybe a tighter community for hematology and neurology and other disease specialties, and in that way you can lead Europe with a good example of clinical trials. So over to you.
Thank you. Will you give me my slides? Or? Okay. While we're waiting, I thank the organizing committee for inviting me to present the ongoing RAN-MS trial. In this clinical trial, patients with aggressive multiple sclerosis is randomized to autologous hematopoietic stem cell transplantation or to one of the most effective disease-modifying drugs in MS. RAN means hit hard or push hard, and that's what we want to accomplish using stem cell transplantation in MS. I know conflict of interest, no disclosures. I'd like to give some background information about multiple sclerosis and the stem cell transplantation before I present our study. As you know, MS is an autoimmune disease in the CNS, and the incidence is increasing all over Europe. In Norway, the prevalence is actually 1 in 500 now, so it causes quite a lot of morbidity in my country. Previous studies have shown that highly active remitting and relapsing MS with signs of inflammation responds well to stem cell transplantation, and that's why we are doing this study now. This image displays a series of MRI scans of the brain of an MS patient. You can see here that the MRIs are taken a few weeks apart, and it looks quite awful. A lot of inflammation, a lot of lesions, and this is the kind of patients who are most eligible for stem cell transplantations. Active inflammation is a prerequisite for initiating stem cell transplantation in these patients. The neurologist applied the term NEDA, no evidence of disease activity, when evaluating the response to treatment in MS patients. NEDA consists of both clinical and MRI factors. You can see at the bottom, relapse activity, clinical attacks, but they also use a disability progression score, EDSS, and the MRI activity. The EDSS, the Extended Disability Status Scale, is presented here. It starts at 0 when the patient is up and running, and the scale goes to 9.0 when the patient is confined to bed, and 10 when the patient is dead. This only provides some information about how the life of the patient is. So EDSS, the motoric functional patient, doesn't tell at all. In our study, we also look at cognitive function, fatigue, quality of life. A lot of factors that matters in the everyday life of the patients. But EDSS is important and NEDA is important. Christoph has already presented this figure by Novello and colleagues from 2017. It gives an overview of the different proportions of MS patients with prevailing NIDA at 2 years after treatment with various disease-modifying drugs and stem cell transplantation. So, if you take a look at this study, you will see that, that using the most efficient disease-modifying drugs, you obtain a NIDA rate of below 50% at 2 years, whereas previous studies with autologous stem cell transplantation has a considerably higher NIDA rate. In 2015 to 17, we transplanted 30 patients with aggressive remitting relapsing MS in Bergen. They had a median age of 30.8 years, had previously used 2.5 DMTs, and they have been followed for 2 years. We have obtained NIDA at 2 years, a NIDA rate of 83%. But EDSS has improved in 40% and in 53%. The EDSS score is stable. And these patients had highly aggressive MS. So it was very important for them not to progress in disability. But 83% NIDA is also very encouraging. The most prominent side effects, I suspected, was infection during protective isolation. We were able to detect bacteria in 20% of patients with infection and viruses in 10%, but 30% had fever of unknown origin. It was important for us to look at fertility in this patient group because there has been a lot of discussion regarding the safety of autologous stem cell transplantation in MS patients. And there are young patients. In this study, we recorded premature ovarian failure at 1 year in 48% of the females. It's quite a high number. And we will go on studying this patient population to see whether this ends in infertility. The BIS study, Ebmt, has been mentioned here today. They obtained a high NIDA rate at both 4 to 5 years of 93.3% and 78.5% with stem cell transplantations as compared to much lower NIDA rates using disease-modifying drugs. I'll now present the REM-MS study. The REM-MS study is an ongoing randomized prospective multicenter unblinded treatment trial. Randomizing patients with aggressive remitting relapsing MS to autologous stem cell transplantation or alemtuzumab. The inclusion criteria includes an age limitation, 18 to 50 years of age, EDSS from 0 to 5.5, and they have to have signs of active inflammation, both clinical signs and MRI signs, while they are treated with a DMT. In some centers, people have to have a lot of the previous MS treatments. In this study, we accept just one DMT. It could be the first treatment for MS, but they have to be on that treatment for at least 3 months because they have to show that whether it's effective or not before you can go into this study. The primary endpoint is neither at 2 years, but we are planning a study extension to 5 years. And as I mentioned, we'll also have a lot of secondary endpoints where we will take a look at the cognitive function, the fatigue scores, quality of life, and we will have a fertility status trial, and we will also look at health economic parameters. There will also be a lot of immunological research connected to this study, and you're very welcome to do immunological work with our material. REM study design is quite simple, and as hematologists, you will recognize this design. We do it after screening and randomization in the autologous stem cell transplant arm. We do pre-transplant evaluation to evaluate the various organs and their presumed tolerability to the treatment. Females between the age of 35 and men are offered fertility measures before we start treatment. And we have a quite extensive protocol for baseline parameters before we start the treatment. So we have a good baseline data. We perform stem cell mobilization and harvesting as presented here previously with cyclophosphamide, 2 grams per body surface, and then also GCSF. We collect more than 3.0 times T10 to the 6 of cells, and we store 2 portions, and within 3 to 5 weeks the patient gets the conditioning regime. And we also apply cyclophosphamide and ATG. ATG dose is 6 milligrams per kilo. It's quite well tolerated. Actually, the patients complain of side effects mostly associated with the high-dose steroids that are needed to prevent serum sicknesses to ADP. At day 6, they get their stem cell reinfusion and usually a protective isolation for 7 to 12 days. The follow-up after hospital discharge is first local until day 100 in a local hospital with a hematologist, and we focus on complications after the stem cell transplantation these first 100 days. We take weekly blood tests, including Epstein-Barr virus and CMV, PCRs. After 1 month, the hematologist can transfer the controls to a neurologist or general practitioner if the patient seems very stable and the socioeconomic conditions are reassuring. We also have formal study visits at day plus 100, 6 months, 1 year, 18 months, 2 years. And the patients are re-vaccinated according to the Ebmt recommendations and starting at 4 months. These are the current centers involved in REM-MS. You can see that there are quite a lot of Scandinavian centers. The central study center is in Bergen, Sahlgrenska in Gothenburg, and Akademiska sjukhuset in Uppsala. The Swedish centers, Copenhagen, Denmark, also open. And this spring, Amsterdam will also start including patients in the REM-MS study. They're already describing all the MRIs. The state of inclusion is fine. We are on track. You can see the line with the planned inclusion rate and the actual inclusion rate. We have included 26 patients just from Norwegian centers. We started in February last year. So, but now the Swedish centers, Uppsala and Gothenburg, and the Danish center in Copenhagen are also open for inclusion. And as I mentioned, the Netherlands will hopefully start inclusion in this spring. Thank you. Here are some of the Scandinavian.
Thank you, Kristine. And any questions from the floor? Ricardo.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question for the, let's say, neurologists of these three prospective trials, including the English one. The control arm is obinutuzumab. I'm not a neurologist, so just to, do you think that there is a, let's say, the risk that in 3 years from now, when you will present the outcome of your study, the neurology community will argue that obinutuzumab is more toxic and less effective than ocrelizumab, and therefore the control arm is not reliable in the study?
Well, ocrelizumab is an upcoming drug. It's not yet approved by the decision forum in Norway. But within the Lehmann study, it's possible to change the comparator. So aidwp is chosen because it's the most effective of the available drugs. But if ocrelizumab is available, they might change.
Okay, Professor Mara from Sydney. Thank you.
I can shout. Can you explain the design of your study in terms of the number to treat? Because I didn't see anything about your design of study, the number to treat, to show the significance.
Yeah, it was on the slide. We are planning to include a minimum of 100 patients, and we are randomized 1-to-1. And I think that's enough, based on the fact that previous studies have shown such a large difference in the between HSCT and other disease modifying drugs. A lot of patients are asking, why are you doing this when HSCT seems to be so much better? In 2015, we applied to the Norwegian decision forum to accept HSCT for MS as a part of a normal treatment schedule. But at that time, they concluded that the data are too weak and they wanted a randomized study before accepting it as a part of the standard treatment.
And that's how you're getting your funding, is it?
We are getting €2 million from research.
And that covers the procedures, is it?
Yeah, and all procedures, all treatment and everything is paid by the government.
Providing it's on the trial.
So we have no problems with funding in Norway.
Any other comments before we round up there?